Are you satisfied with the federal government's response to the Iran plane crash?
On the whole, yes. I think given the constraints of the relationship between the government and Iran, and I don't think that there's more that it could do. I think it's done an incredible amount for the survivors of the people who died in the crash. And in terms of trying to negotiate with the Iran government, I think it's done what it could do.
So far, I think they've done an okay job. But going forward, it's going to be a tough one. Dealing with certain nations, it's not just Iran, it's China, Russia. I mean, those are tough nations to deal with because you got some pretty heavy-duty, egocentric people.
So far, I think actually giving them giving the surviving members of the families some victim allowance right away is actually the best thing that they could possibly do, because although they might be able to get money from Iran in the future, it could take years. I wish there was more that they can do, but I feel like they are genuinely trying their best to help the people who survived, the families who died in the plane crash.
No,
Why not?
because the response that they're using interferes with other countries. It needs to be about Canada and what we're willing to do to Iran or negotiate with Iran. We're having to use France, the U.S., and Ukraine to do so. And each time we do that, it brings up a different topic. And that's the problem they're having in chambers right now. It's because of that.
On balance, yes. In other words, first of all, this isn't the most important issue. I have colleagues and friends who are Iranians who migrated to Canada. Their anger and their focus is entirely on the Iranian regime. They see the Canadian response as really a trivial part of this whole thing. I don't know all of the details around whether or not Iran will release bodies. So there are elements that have nothing to do with the original announcements or that may unfold, that may cause people to be upset. But to me, in the great scheme of things, this is not a big problem.
No, I'm not. I think the immediate reaction of the Prime Minister was a little over the top. I think he had a veiled reference to the United States and the President and decisions taken by them that I thought was inappropriate. I still think are inappropriate. I think there's a balance of responsibility for the entire affair, but I don't think our federal government responded very well. That said, I was pleased to see the initial $25,000 fund set up, or compensation. It's actually not compensation, but anyway, that money helps, I know, those people that have experienced this terrible tragedy in the immediate term. And so that I was very glad that they undertook.
I think they're doing as much as they can, considering what they're up against, which is Iran. They're not giving. They're being very slow and very not as quick as they should be with their answers. But it seems that the federal government is asking the right questions.